The EduTech guys present a conversation from our live coverage of FETC in Orlando, Florida on Tuesday, January 23rd, 2018. Enjoy the program.
My name is Debbie Bohanan, and I teach digital video at Zenith, which is an alternative school right here in Kissimmee. So only about half an hour from the convention.
Awesome.
Hey, that
Awesome.
works out well.
And so you're doing a session here.
I am.
Correct?
I have a poster session
Awesome.
on Friday.
And it's called?
It is called Never Fear. Coding is here.
Oh, the four-letter word.
Oh, four-letter word, coding.
Dun.
Okay, so tell us, so you do digital video. You
I do
teach
digital video, and we also do the Hour of Code. And I have a high school program, and I also have an 8th grade program. And the 8th grade program, these are alternative students that have been recommended from all over our district that come to us, and we only take 100. And when they come to me, we focus a little bit more on careers as well with them. And as you know, 50% of the jobs when they graduate are going to involve coding. Mm-hmm. So I try to kind of build in some things where they can at least have exposure. Yeah. Because if you don't know what's out there, then how are you ever going to
Right,
pursue it?
yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So digital video and coding here in Orlando.
Yes.
That's got to be awesome.
It is the dream job.
Because
I am never leaving it.
I was gonna say,
As long as they will have me, I will be there forever.
I was going to say, and just having industry people come in, do you guys do that? I mean, is there a lot of industry people around here?
We're working on that. Being an alternative school, because we're pulling from the entire county, our hours are earlier than everybody else.
Oh, really?
So we're there at 7. The kids start at 7:25, and the kids are gone by 1:30.
Oh, wow.
So we have a very small window to get people in, so that's been a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
But we are open to anyone that is willing and eager to come and talk to these babies and let them know what their future holds.
Yeah.
Sure.
So in the alternative setting for those kids, you know, if we had had that when I was in school, I would have been an alternative kid because I was a square peg too. You know, I mean, so I bet digital video and coding has really changed a lot of idle hands.
Yes.
I bet it
and
has.
a lot of some of my favorites, they're kind of like the misfit, you know. They didn't fit in where they were. They weren't successful. They kind of slipped through the cracks, and then they come to us. It's a smaller class size setting, more individuality, and there are no cracks. Mm-hmm. So nobody slips through anything.
Right.
And I have one student, his name is Michael. He's been with me since 8th grade, and he's graduating this year.
Oh, wow.
And this year, he's doing dual enrollment over at TICO, which is our Technical Education Center. And he's working on getting his digital media certifications and everything through them because he went through my program.
That's awesome.
Before he came to me, he didn't know anything about it. He wanted to work for mosquito control.
Yeah,
and
wow.
now he wants to produce videos.
Now he wants to produce videos.
How awesome is that?
That's really great.
You know, that is literally changing the trajectory of where students think they're going to go or where they thought they were going to go, and now they've been exposed to an entirely different, set of skills
that they never even dreamed of.
Didn't even know existed, let alone how on earth would they get associated with that.
Well, 10 or 20 years ago,
I watch movies, but how would I ever know? Like, where am I ever going to edit video or produce video or write a script? Or I don't even know how any of that works if I'm even thinking about that. And then all of a sudden hey, I think that's what I want to do.
Debbie steps in and it's like, boom.
Yes.
Yeah. He would come in and he'd say, okay, so I'm working with this YouTube channel and this guy, and we're Team Rocket, but I really need a great intro. Can I come in before school and we shoot video in the studio? I'm like, of course you can.
Yeah.
So he came in, he shot his whole thing, he brought all his props, and then he went and edited on the computer, and he was good to go. He was just happy camper.
That's awesome. So you guys have a big studio, a nice studio?
We have a very large space.
Yeah.
It is in desperate need of lighting and a few microphones, but it's got a huge cyclorama that goes floor to ceiling and comes out 6 feet, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's just, if you're wearing dark clothes, you're going to be shimmery and kind of see-through because the lighting's not so good.
Yeah, and that's expensive stuff.
It is. It is. Unfortunately, when they retrofitted everything, they ran out of money when they got to that part.
Lighting.
Of course.
You know, we make do with what we can.
Exactly.
So let's jump into the coding.
Yes.
Same kids that are doing the digital video, they're probably just as intrigued by the coding, aren't they?
Yeah, because most of them have never done it before. You know, they know about playing the games, but they don't know the science behind it and all the code. And to kind of blend the two, my media specialist just purchased 2 Spheros. and she'd like to start a robotics club. But she's like, I don't know how to use these, but I thought they'd be neat, and the kids don't know how to use them. So my advanced digital video kids learned how to use them. We taught them how to code with them, and then they made an instructional video on how to use the Spiros that will be on the iPad. So when they go to the media center to do robotics in the morning, they'll pull up the iPad, watch the video that the students made on how to do it, and then they'll be able to construct it. My kids are like, okay, how do I know if my video is right? I said, okay, all you need to do is watch it. Now, can you pick up the iPad? Can you program the Spiro, and will it work? If the answer is yes, you did it right. If the answer is no, you're missing something.
Yeah.
You're right.
Well, and the key, a key to that is also can someone who has no idea, do you have someone you could share this with that they could watch the video? Because a lot of times, if I make an instructional video and I watch it back, there are certain things. It's a lot like reading. Sometimes when I like to write, and so there's a lot of times when I've written something and I could read it 100 times, and the words that I know should be there are there when I read it, but somebody else reads it and they're like, "This doesn't make any sense. I don't understand what's going on." I'm like, "Well, it says." Oh, wait, no, it doesn't. So same thing with an instructional video, which that's one of the things I do is I make. One of the things I do is make tutorial videos on YouTube.
Oh, nice.
And so there's a lot of times where I'll make a video and I watch it and I'm like, okay, this makes perfect sense. And then I'll get comments and I'm like, I don't understand what happened here, or this still isn't working for me. So I'm like, what's the matter with you? And I go back and I watch, I'm like, well, crud, I forgot this step over here, because I just did it automatically.
Right. That was our workshop today. Oh, did I forget to tell y'all to click on this? Yes, you did.
Yeah.
That's why none of us are seeing what you
Yes,
see.
exactly.
Been
Exactly.
there,
That's
done that.
right.
Yep, exactly.
So, that is so cool.
So you're graduating a kid who came to you in the 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
He's graduating this year.
Yep.
So how many kids have you gotten through the program right now? Is this your first crew?
This is our 6th year in the program, but our first group of graduates was about 3 years ago.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
That is so
It's
cool.
really great to hear that the coding aspect's coming into it.
Yeah.
If for anything, the workflow, I think learning coding, even if you're not going to do it and you think you can't, when kids sit down and they learn, oh, that's how this game works.
Yeah.
And they realize that, if I worked at this, I could really write my own game.
Exactly.
So I can see that happening. And those are the kind of kids that are quiet in the back of the room, that didn't fit into the normal classroom setting, that are looking for that thing that makes them feel like a productive member of,
That little light
inclusive.
to spark
Yes.
them.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That's really awesome.
That is so cool.
That's really awesome. So your poster session.
Yes.
So
It's on Friday at 11 o'clock.
Give me a summary. Give me a quick.
So basically, what I want it to be is just a very simple. I know teachers are afraid of coding as well, because most of them never had any experience with it, but they know it's important.
Sure.
And there are tons and tons of resources out there. The Hour of Code is an excellent place for them to start, because there's a variety of activities that range from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. And so, I have 8th grade through 12th grade, and I've been able to find things that all of them can do, and not feel like, oh, this is too babyish,
Sure.
this isn't for me. There's a new thing that I just discovered on there, but we have some blockage issues with the district. But for other districts that don't have that issue, there's a thing where they can actually write the program to make the animated Google logos.
Oh,
And
cool.
Google has put that into the
Yeah.
Hour of Coding now. So I know that would really inspire a lot of the high school students to be able to make those animated
Sure.
GIFs.
Sure.
But in addition to the Hour of Coding, there's a lot of things that Microsoft offers. There's a summer camp that I took my son and all his friends to at the Microsoft store, because I felt they weren't getting exposure to coding, so I'm going to take you there. And the guy said, oh, looks like we don't have a full class. I said, well, can I sit there? So I took the class too.
Awesome.
And it's a Youth Spark program, and it teaches them all about building their own games using a program called Kodu. So I'll introduce that to people as well. And just kind of give them a way to go and find all these free resources, so they have things that they can practice to feel comfortable before they present it to their kids.
Sure.
Because if you're not comfortable with it, you're not going to teach it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. So
Very cool.
how many times have you been to FETC?
Probably 24.
Oh my gosh! Does it get better every time?
Yes.
That's what we think too. That's I like to find out, especially from I figured you had been here.
Oh, yeah.
When it was the Florida You know,
Yes.
yeah. So
Yes.
that's awesome.
When it was across the street.
Yes. Yes.
So what else are you looking forward to? What else here are you looking forward to going to? What's your next big thing?
Well, we really want to get into the Breakout EDU
Yeah.
aspect of it this year. So we inherited some money at school, so I talked them into buying Breakout EDU kits.
Yeah, nice.
And we just got those a couple weeks ago, so I brought one of my teammates with me, and we've already got it highlighted. I'm like, we're going to this session
that's
because
right.
I'm the only one that's seen it. So everybody else has to see it so they know why I'm going, oh, wow, this is really cool.
Yes. Yes.
Love the Rushton Hurley sessions, Hall Davidson, Leslie Fisher, Kathy Schrock, all of those people.
Yeah.
I've known them for years and always come and, you know, they just inspire you.
Yeah.
I always like
Yeah.
to say that FETC is like the mothership calling me home.
Yeah.
So please let me go. And if I present, then my administrator only has to give me time off.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's
right.
much easier to ask for.
Yeah, that is.
Yes.
So,
That is awesome.
if folks want to get in touch with you, Twitter account,
Yes, it's Bohanan, Bohanan.
cool,
D for Debbie.
awesome. Website,
Just through the school,
Cool.
so nothing too interactive there, but Facebook as well.
'Kay.
So,
awesome. We have a little gift for you.
Yes, we do.
aw.
A little tchotchke.
before you head off, thank
Why,
you so
thank
much
you,
for
guys.
For
sitting in the
here
hot
with us,
seat and
I like
talking to us.
for finding the hot seat. There's a bonus
That's a
for
good-
that.
yeah, that's right. That's right. That's what we should give the
We
pins
should have a
out for.
breakout EDU on that.
Yeah,
There you go. That's right. How to find the
That's right.
TV
Find,
guys.
that's right. Find the EduTech guys.
So,
Yeah.
if you see the seat open and want to sit in, we are booked solid. But you know,
All
if
right.
you're out and if you have an epiphany and say, I need to talk to these guys about this,
All right.
stop by and see us again.
Come out of a session and go, oh my gosh.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Exactly.
Guess
Exactly.
what I learned today.
Yep.
Yes, that's exactly
Yes,
right.
because a couple of years ago, I went to a session that Hall Davidson did,
Uh-huh.
and it was the most interactive, energized session that I'd been to in a long
Oh,
time.
yeah.
And I took what he showed us and brought it back, and I've implemented it for the last 3 years for Digital Learning Day at my school.
See,
Oh,
that
that's
is
So
awesome.
it's this whole digital scavenger hunt. And
Yeah.
You start off with, you play a song. And so they have apps on their devices, so they have to figure out. We use Shazam here.
Sure.
My district has decided that's not an approved app, so they're going to ask Siri, because that's on the iPad,
Yeah.
of what song's playing. And then that gives them a clue. And then they have to go over, and the clue was the 59th Street Bridge in the song. You think it's Feeling Groovy, but it's really the 59th Street Bridge song. And then there were pictures of 3 bridges, so it incorporated augmented reality. So they had to use the app
cool.
to scan the correct bridge. Each bridge had something on it,
Right.
but only the correct one took them to the right next spot.
Ah, that's cool.
The wrong ones took them to a pole where it had the teacher in the hat information in it. So they'd pull that out and say, go find the teacher in the hat, which was me, who would say, you might want to try finding the name of that song again.
Yes.
And then
that's
it took
cool.
them through a series of things. They went and found things on the computer. We used Google Translate, where they had to translate what it said to eventually get to the folder at the end. So kind of like a breakout in
Yeah.
a way.
Yeah,
but,
that's
But it
cool,
was
though.
a very fun digital scavenger hunt. So
That is
Awesome,
very,
cool.
very cool.
Well, Debbie,
Awesome.
thank you for coming by.
you are most welcome.
It's been a really blast.
All right. Well,
Awesome.
look forward to seeing you guys throughout the week.
Have a great
Thank
FETC.
you very much.
You
We'll
too.
see you. Have a good one.
You've been listening to a recorded conversation from EduTech Guy's live coverage of FETC 2018. For more information about EduTech Guys, visit edutechguys.com. And thanks for listening.